I'm your Black Lex today, baby. Now you ain't never gotta like me, that shit is overrated. You need a hero to love, I be the villain that you hated. When it's all said and done, you gon' love me. Me kissing babies, fucking ladies thinking of me. Cause I'm the villain, the bad guy, the one that's supposed to lose. But I'm American, baby, so the rules all skewed for me. Steal your identity, fuck up your credit for free. Police know it's stolen, but they still make you pay the fee. And you don't respect me, for real? I'm the one that's showing you what the real world is. All these backroom deals for your kids' future. My financial aid hustle keep your kids mooching. And why you motherfuckers still stupid? The Statue of Liberty married the country, divorced and now the bitch still moving. With half of the money, alimony, child support. You know what's up when I be winning in the court. Cause I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H-N-I-C, everybody wants to be. Damn right, I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H-N-I-C, everybody wants to be. They try to tell me thou shalt not steal. In the same church they tell me Jesus white, is they for real? They try to say the land of the free. Minus the slavery, plus the fact that you pay for land these folks stole for free. And you wanna be Superman. Did you forget that Lex Luthor became the president? You lacking common sense, that's why the villain lives. That's why the villain's right. They turn on Superman, man, they turn on Jesus Christ. Even the devil got teams like Arizona State, Duke, the state of Jersey. That man say you're sold and he can't get a jersey. Y'all go to church on Sunday and you claim you're worthy. That's why I got my credit and I'm charging 10%. You finish paying me and you gon' pay me triple, bitch. So why'd I be a hero when a villain gets paid? And women like paid, so the villain gets laid. So I'ma be the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H-N-I-C, everybody wants to be. Damn right, I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H-N-I-C, everybody wants to be.
What's happening, everybody? L.A.R. movement. I guess I'm still moving. It's late for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a homebody. It's time for me to go to bed half the time. But I've been looking at a lot of content. And every now and then, something sparks my interest. And that's why I made the title, the Red Pill, Racism, and Classism. So I've been wanting to say this for a long time. Shout out to Edward Anderson. There's a few other brothers that say this. The red pill isn't just about the reality of relationships. It's about reality altogether. You got to be red pill about life. So what I see a lot of times, my bad, is a lot of cats been online for years, and they've been red pill for they've been red pill for $1. They've been red pill for clout. But one of the things that's always been in the mix is, if you notice, like the black guys for the most part and the white guys, we are on completely different sides. And then you started seeing guys, you started seeing a little bit of Asian guys who playing the red pill, blue pill thing, and Muslim guys, a little bit of Hispanic guys. So I'm looking at them like, oh, okay. Because people like to play the game where, we say, the women don't take accountability. But a lot of the guys that was hustling that was grifting on the red pill never took accountability. You know, women women are children. Women don't take accountability. Okay. But when it's time for the guys to see what's going on in life, all of a sudden they act like children. They don't take accountability, right? And it always showed up when it came to racism. Race was always a factor this whole time. That's the reason why there's a black manosphere, because of racism. It shouldn't be surprising. This is America, right? This is America. Racism is all about it. But then what gets left out half the time, well, what gets left out a lot is classism. I'm over here snacking, so my bad. So, so what gets left out is classism. So this is how I'm gonna do this. A lot of you guys have been hiding, have been using the red pill to grift to put you, from the lower class to the middle class to the middle class to the upper class. And some of you got money, some of us didn't, right? So what basically happened at the end of the day was a lot of cats was just out here playing games, because the vast majority of the stuff people are talking about, you know, they were just they weren't talking from their own experiences, you know. So now we have to take this all the way. And what I mean by take this stuff all the way is like, okay, and I'm glad you said that, IG, you know, because there was a lot of guys who really weren't dating. They really weren't meeting people. They really didn't have an issue with meeting thoughts and single mothers and yada yada yada, because they really wasn't talking to nobody. So what they would do is, excuse me, they would regurgitate somebody else's material. Oh shit, excuse me. They would regurgitate somebody else's material. And when they regurgitate somebody else's material, people gravitated to it. And I hate to say it, but I got to be honest. A lot of times, the people that gravitated to people grifting were people who were vicariously living through somebody else too, because they wasn't really approaching the people and dealing with the situations that people are so concerned about. Now, the reason why I got to talk about the red pill and racism also is because it became political. See, most of these, and since it's late now, I could be me. Excuse me. I'm a little under the weather, forgive me. But, oh my goodness. A lot of these cats were just bitch ass niggas. Let me just keep it like that. A lot of these cats was using race and racism, to be bitch ass niggas. The black community does this and the black community is that. And what goes on in the black community? Bitch, you ain't even black. Why are you concerned about the black community? I'm gonna tell you why. Because you was using the black community as your little dog whistle for racism. That's all you was doing. It's because in the black community, what the black people do. How many black people you really know? You don't. You don't know nobody that's black. And then, you had some of the black guys, hate to do it, but it's true. People who are black and not black American. Then you had people that's black out here cooning, and they was using the red pill, like, because that's where a lot of this political stuff comes from. So now I got to get to this part. Let me explain something to y'all. For all these red pill people that was hustling, right? If you notice, all the black dudes that's not from America, every last one of them, they never told you what was going on in their community. You do realize that the Africans never told you what was going on with their African relationships because they didn't have any. The Caribbeans didn't tell you what was going on with their Caribbean relationships. You know, a lot of times the white guys was trying to use black women as cover because they was too because they've been too cowardly to address their own women. So they was using black women as the reason why. It's like, nah, you just you scared of your woman. That's what this is. You scared of being quote unquote honest. So you gotta use black chicks as end all be all. The Hispanic guys, they gosh, you know, they they were stuck in let me fit in with white guys that you weren't really addressing what was going on in your community. So everybody had the same MO. It's the black people. Okay. And now, the question started to arise like, okay, well, since we everybody problem, y'all don't have no real problems in y'all community then. And then when it's like, well, what's the problems in y'all community? Oh, we don't have that. We have better culture and we have better family structure. And I'm like, you sure about that? Y'all sure about that? Because the last time I checked, a lot of y'all the insecurities about the BBC and the black man taking your woman really come from the aspect of y'all not really getting along like that, and people looking for the door. They looking to get out. That's what that's about, you know. So now I'm gonna get into this classism part though, because they were telling guys get money, get do this, do that, make more money, and that's cool. That's cool. I ain't tripping on that. But if y'all really want to be honest, there was a few guys who blew up. A few guys who blew up. A lot of the guys that didn't blow up are really 9 to 5 blue collar hardworking guys. So one of the reasons why some of those guys didn't blow up, they didn't have the time to. They had to work. That's what was going on. They had to work. So you had some guys they had the time to knock out content after content after content after content, and some people grew, some people didn't. But when it comes to the issue of class, hold up. Sorry. When it comes to the issue of class, this is where America had an issue because a lot of these guys in the red pill space didn't want to say that, okay, they're in the middle class and upper class and some of their neighbors look like me. So now you got an issue because in your nice little quote unquote suburban neighborhood, you seeing more brothers that look like me, and it's like, wait a minute, and now you can't play this game where, well, they're out here committing crimes and they're doing this and they're doing that. No, you see him, he across the street, he walking the dog, he chilling with the kids, this, that, and the third, and now you have an issue because you like, do I have to compete with this guy? What is going to happen with me and the girl that I say that I want but I don't have? Is the neighbor going to come to his house? Hold on 1 second. See that? My bad. See that thing that you had that fantasy about the neighbor that was going to come, be your little freak, and now you think she looking across the street at the black guy. It's like, oh, okay, this was going on. Now the economy, is going downhill, and these guys are out here tripping because, man, what are we gonna do if we don't have a propped up economy? We're gonna get more on the red pill. Hey, My bad. What I mean about more on the red pill is this. Is what I'm saying is this. Hmm. Basically, people gonna be on the internet using the red pill as an excuse to be extra racist and say I'm better than you because you got to the way the economy's going. You gonna have to position yourself, in some type of good spot, and hopefully on social media you got enough followers and enough viewers and you got enough quote unquote motion that you can live off of YouTube, right? Or Instagram or TikTok. And a lot of people gonna crash and burn because a lot of people go viral but only for a short time. So what else do you got to do? You got to be extreme, and this extreme stuff is where people think the money is. Because think about it, damn, you got people like Fresh and Fit, Nick Fuentes. They're the names. People tripping on it. Anton Daniels went from he blew up or whatever. I'm like, cool, but a lot of this is just how can I say this? And I don't even want to say it in a nice way. A lot of this stuff is just bullshit. How about that? How about that? So a lot of you guys as red pill and you racist. Here's your issue. You need black content creators because you can't create fucking content for yourself because you ain't really doing shit. You ain't done shit with you like that. And so you get racist, but truth be told, you gonna get racist online, but not in person because you get your ass kicked. The classism part, right? A lot of people are trying to use, are gonna have a hard time with the class issue because at the end of the day, man, if more and more people lose their jobs, it's pretty much gonna level out America's playing field, and let's see how red pill you gonna be then. Let's see if it's about. Let's see if you're gonna pick yourself up by your bootstraps then, because all of the BS talking points that people got, it sounds good when you up. It don't sound good when you down. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to hear that shit when everything goes upside down. It's not motivating and ambitious. It's not that. So that's a whole nother thing. Then we got to talk about the red pill, the relationship part of it. Yo, I don't know why some of y'all red pill in at this junction in the first place, because some of y'all too old. And what I mean is, and I said it a long time ago, men hit the wall too. I don't want to hear you talking about single mothers and you over 40. Don't want to hear that stupid shit. Bro, just because you never had kids, well, let me say it right. You never got married, you never got kids and you over 40. I don't want to hear your stupid ass story. Cause you had a lot of space and opportunity. I don't want to hear you still talking about, hey man, it just didn't never work out because da 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 da, and they like this and they like that, and how come I can't find, a 39-year-old virgin who don't have no kids, we could get married and have kids in our 40s. Shut your stupid ass up. Just shut up. Don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying, Andrew? Look, man, I didn't keep up with the debate with Andrew Wilson and CJ. I don't watch neither one of them. Neither one of them. From what I remember of Greg Adams, he used to steal people's material, from what I remember. Excuse me, but that was years ago. I don't want to. For me, I just don't want to hear that stuff. I'm not. I. I'm not gonna say the red pill is a young man's game, but what I'm gonna say is some of us in the red pill who have been here for a very long time, we know some of these guys never evolved. Some of these some people have used the red pill to be stagnant in life, and that's not what it was for. Some of these people use the red pill to be racist, to be stagnant in life, and that's not what it's for. Some people use the red pill as this is going to be my grift to get money, and they became stagnant in life, and you know, ain't nothing to show for it. So people just not being honest. You know, people just not being honest. So we got this thing where whether I like I don't care. But hold up. Sorry, I got to mute from time to time. I said I'm under the weather. So I'm just gonna go down a rabbit hole and say, there's a difference between a red pill and ugly guy arguments. There's a difference between a red pill and broke man arguments. Don't conflate. Don't put them all in the same box. Don't. You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes, I'm gonna say it just like this. I was talking to a friend of mine about people who like hedonism. People who like hedonism, like they like the nude beaches and the parties and the poly idea and the poly life and the swinger life and all that stuff. And I was like, listen, the reason why that sounds good is because it's a good fantasy. You think and find people do it, but for the most part, that's what ugly horny people do. That's what that is. It's a bunch of ugly, bad, big, horny people. And you're gonna find yourself in a room full of full of bad, built, unattractive people who feel like they sexy, and it ain't gonna be cool. So, so my advice is part of the red pill is a bunch of people like that. Some of these cats couldn't get people if they tried. You get what I'm saying? Some of them. That's why and that's why I'm talking about it. The red pill, racism, and classism. Because some of these motherfuckers they use the red pill to get money, and now they got money, and still they're lonely. They told you to get your money up, and they got their money up, and still don't nobody like them. You know, still don't nobody like them. So it's like, so get your paper, be the best you can be, and it's like, okay, you got your paper up, be the best you can be, and now what? Because here's the thing. It's a simple way. If you're trying to, I'm not gonna say be irresistible, but if you're trying to, if your goal is to have be with the opposite sex, it don't take much. You know what you need? You need to be attractive, and you need to have a sense of humor, and you need to be smart. That's pretty much it. That's all you got to do. Be attractive, be smart, have a sense of humor. That's it. All the other stuff gonna fall into place. But a lot of folks is out here trying to, you know, piece it together, and I got that magic key. Don't worry about that. Be comfortable in your own skin. Be yourself. Have fun. Be somebody that's fun to be around. That's all you gotta do. But some of these grifting ass, red wannabe red pill cats, they're you can tell they got a you know you can tell they uptight. You know they too uptight. And don't nobody want to be around somebody uptight. Well, I say it like this. You know, you don't want to be with somebody that's irresponsible. But then again, you don't want to be with somebody that's uptight. You gotta, you know, I don't want to say play the middle, but be even keel. But yeah. I don't. That's part of what I'm talking about. The fake. Yeah, bad energy is bad energy. You know, a lot of that stuff is just what it is at this point. I, I'm an alpha male. Shut the fuck up. You know, if you're an alpha male, you ain't gotta say it. If you're an alpha male, you ain't gotta keep talking alpha. That shit don't even. Listen, man. That's like you being 40 years old, still telling me I'm a man, I'm a man, I'm a man. Bitch, if you don't know that, if people can't tell that by now, you ain't there yet. That alpha male shit don't mean nothing. And the reason I'm saying it don't mean nothing, because most of these motherfuckers don't do alpha male shit no way. Just be honest with you. Saying you alpha male is just the equivalent. Either you saying I look intimidating, which you can look as intimidating as you want. That don't mean you can. That, that don't mean you gonna get down like that. You could be loud. You can like, man, the vast majority of alpha males are not uh, um, running around telling you how alpha they are. Because to be perfectly honest, let me say it in this way: most people who are real alpha males got. They didn't got their ass whipped before. They didn't got humbled. So the last thing that they gonna be is somebody running around like they're invincible because they know better. Most of the motherfuckers you seeing online talking all that alpha shit is just talk. You can say a lot of tough shit as long because you ain't never really faced nobody in no situation. You can say whatever the fuck you want. They don't, you can believe it because it's all made up. It's all made up. It ain't real. Yeah. So it's like that alpha shit is not what you think. You know, even and I hate to say it. Yeah, it is basically talking points for YouTube. You know, and now you've mixed, alpha male, red pill with, people in their racist ideology or they classist ideology and a political ideology. And now what you got is just a hodgepodge of a bunch of people talking tough that you can tell is pussy. It don't even make no sense. It's not even helpful. It, it, you know, it, the red pill is supposed to be actually helpful. Not much. This shit ain't even helpful half the time. It's just blah 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 blah. Bitches ain't shit. I'm a real man. Conservative ideology. It's like, oh, okay, you niggas don't know shit. That's crazy. That's crazy, doc. But because because people forget, man. Like between the races of it, and I'm gonna say it this way: most people gravitated to black content creators about the red pill because black men got to deal with more bullshit in America. So we have a wealth of knowledge, quote unquote, for being the canaries in the coal mine. We have way more experience with the bullshit that's going on in America than everybody else. And what you're about to see is everybody else about to start going through. And you're seeing it. The difference between us and everybody else is everybody else to actually think they better than the black community. And you finna find out you absolutely not. So now y'all gonna have to get serious and quote unquote red pill. And let me just say this is in an American way, right? My bad. There's gonna be a gang of people who are, and I hate to say it like this, but who come from immigrant backgrounds that's probably not gonna be here. They're probably gonna pack up and leave as soon as the country gets too poor. You know what I'm saying? They probably gonna go, we out. We like the idea of America because it was supposed to be an opportunity to make money. But now that it's broke, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at a guy online talking about who's the problem in America. And he was a black guy talking to a white guy. The black guy was like, look, white people, y'all the problem. And the white guy was talking to like, he's like, look, man, y'all created all these issues. And he's like, well, we're divided. I was like, y'all created the division. So what's the problem? What's the problem? And the issue becomes, why I'm saying this is because you were talking about even politically. Politically, the country's issue is they're created predominantly by white guys. So what you're seeing is um, white men's plans for American or their own successes is cost America a lot. You know what I'm saying? America going downhill, and people go, "Oh, well, it's not going to be that bad." I don't think y'all get it. I don't think you understand. America's propped up by what do you call that? By people's fantasy ideology of what America is. That's what it. Once people go, "Oh my goodness, it's not people. This isn't great. It's not as great as I thought." They're gonna bail, and they're gonna bail because you the white man's ice isn't as cold anymore. Now the question is this: who's going to be the leaders of the new direction of America and the new direction of the world? You know, and I got to say it for another reason. Um, my bad. The other reason is other countries financially are figuring their shit out. BRICS. I think Japan did something recently. Yeah, America's great at marketing, but what happens when the marketing don't work no more? You get what I'm saying? Because America's basically gonna be Europe, Australia. That's all it's gonna be. Europe is basically a dying empire, right? And you gotta understand it's gonna get worse and worse and worse because other countries are gonna start cutting them off. The same way Burkina Faso wants to cut off France. Oh, England gonna get cut off. England gonna get cut off by the Caribbean, parts of Africa. So is so all other parts of Germany, not Germany, but other parts of Europe. And then when they start getting cut off, it's just gonna collapse. And the same thing is gonna happen in America. America, you got these politicians believing, hey man, and the reason why I'm talking about the politicians is because these red pill cats got into politics. So now they're trying to tell you how smart they are because, and let me just lay it out there before I even go down that rabbit hole. The political thing is just a grift too. All right, motherfuckers was out here figuring out through their algorithm what got people in their feelings and emotions, and a lot of shit. A lot of what got people in their feelings and emotions was their disdain for the male female relationship dynamic, and in politics because motherfuckers just needed somebody to hate, and race because race always you needed somebody to hate, and classism because you always wanted to feel better than somebody else, and that goes in the race too. So a lot of times a lot of your favorite, I ain't gonna say favorite, but a lot of the grifting became an issue because people was like, oh, this is what the people looking for. This is what y'all looking for. Y'all mad at life, so I can cater to people who mad at life. See, prior to that, the red pill was trying to help you fix your issues. Fix your issues and get away from people who want to keep having the same damn issue all over and over again. Now you see a bunch of people on one. And what did Ed call them? Purple pills. The guys is kind of blue pill and kind of red pill or whatever. You're seeing more of that. You're seeing more people who want to be activists, but they really half-ass activists. And I'm gonna be petty when I say this, even for the brothers out there, man. I got love for my fellow black men, but let me explain something to y'all. Some of us are getting real, political and red pill online and talking about race online. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Y'all don't look like y'all had any experience with none of that shit. That's becoming a problem too. And I'm not saying people gotta struggle and come from the hood and all of that. But what I am saying is this. If you didn't have a bunch of racial experiences, shut the fuck up online talking about racial experiences because motherfuckers can see that's not you. Just because you black don't mean you had a shitload of racial experiences. That don't mean that, especially nowadays, because a lot of you niggas was not, a lot of you, a lot of y'all was raised in the suburbs, and a lot of y'all was trying to blend in. I don't know what the fuck your parents was thinking. I really don't. I don't know what the fuck y'all was thinking. Well, because I've seen it. I've seen the guys. The people that are still extreme are the people who grown as hell talking about I'm an individual. I'm not a race. Leave let that delusional bitch be where they gonna be. But some of y'all, just because you grew out some dreads or you braided your hair, don't make you extra black, bitch. I'm tired. Even when I see some of y'all on that, what about when the police pull you over? The police ain't never pulled your motherfucking ass over. What the fuck are you talking about? That's not your experience. And I'm saying that because it's the same thing when you see, when you see these young folks out here trying to be hood. That's why y'all walking around looking like, y'all making faces. Y'all really not hood. Y'all making faces and y'all trying to dress like, wear your hair like, and talk like what you think people from the hood are, and you trying to act like what you think people from the hood are. And motherfuckers can see it's an act with you. Even most of the people that's quote unquote in the hood now, most of the motherfuckers is acting. Yeah, it's different for sure. But you know what, Doc? That's what I mean. Most of these people can't spot it. They can't spot it, and then now you're now you 30, 35 years old, and now you replaying it because people got to tell you what was going on, and now you oh shit, that's what it was. I had all of these racial experiences. No, no, you didn't. You were too busy participating, G. And I've said it a few times. I can tell because you know you got young black folks who are, and I hate to do this to even put this shit on the table this way. You got too many young black folks cosplaying hood, and you got too many young black folks cosplaying like they country now. Don't want to hear that shit. You know, I'm tired of y'all dressing like somebody that was in the '90s and early 2000s and getting in your car, making my way downtown. I don't even know. That's the only part I know that fucking song. But you know what I'm talking about. You know, it don't make no fucking sense. It's okay to be you. You said you said where's bro. I'm from, look. I grew up on the west side of Chicago. That's my point, though. Cicero was basically a sundown town in the '60s, '70s, technically the '80s. You know, and because this is what I mean, and this for black men, black women, or whatever. To not have any situational awareness as a black person in America that's an adult right now, I'm looking at you sideways as a black man. I'm looking at you sideways because it is you. There are young black adults and grown black adults that still don't realize there's sundown towns in America. There are black folks who put themselves in situations you be like, why the fuck are you there? What does it matter, bro? Oh, okay. Get yourself killed. Don't worry about it. It's the same thing when I say on the opposite side of being hood, or people acting like they being hood. That was the thing about going to the airport with bonnets on and going out in public with pajamas and bonnets on. That shit, that you know, because you 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 really trying to stand out by being an asshole. Because that's not really being hood. You get what I'm saying? That's not really being hood. This idea, and this is what I mean. Let me rewind this for all the people who have. When I say this, I know I know when people are cosplaying being hood because you're doing shit to bring attention to yourself in a way that somebody would call the police on you. That's not. That's how I know you cosplaying. Because don't nobody in the hood want to put themselves in the police, put themselves in a situation where the cops gonna come. But y'all motherfuckers be playing that game. Y'all doing shit and it's like, yo, yeah, they finna call the cops. And you just want to keep pushing the envelope. Okay, cool. You see what happens. And it's the same thing, because that's how I know you cosplaying. Because you doing the shit that your white friends would do, or your Hispanic friends would do. And it's like, oh, you still think you think y'all can do the same thing. Okay. You finna get arrested. That's what's finna happen. Hold up for 1 second. And I say that to go back to the red pill part. This is why some of these people talk on this red pill shit. You shouldn't listen to these motherfuckers because they're telling you shit that don't really work in real life because they didn't try it themselves. They don't know what the hell they talking about at all. You got white guys who date white women who gonna tell you what to do with black women. You got black guys who date white women gonna tell you what to do with black women. What the fuck you listening to them for? And both of them group, you got what do you call it? Asians and Hispanics, people that are mixed, they doing the same exact thing. And all of them, and every last one of them, what they do is they go back to black content creators and go, what works? Let me do this with the people I'm actually dating or trying to date. Because the shit because you gotta understand something. A lot of this red pill stuff that's being taught, motherfuckers ain't living it. They're not living it. And what's gonna wind up happening is, man, you're gonna have a bunch of people mad as hell. You know, you're gonna have people mad as hell, like this is the path I chose. That's on you. But sometimes my mind's racing. I go different places with stuff, so my bad. But part of what I'm getting at is this. So I'm gonna be direct when I'm saying some of this stuff right this way. If you're listening to red pill content and you have no direction to get from point A to point B to make your life better, you're wasting your time. And if you're just gonna be mad, you're wasting your time. That you're wasting your time. If you think uh, the red pill is gonna make you better than somebody, you're wasting your time. And some of the guys use the red pill to feel like I'm better than women, and basically what they were doing was the same thing that other groups do, right? They find the worst example of the group of people that they want to be better than, and they compare themselves to the worst example to make themselves feel better. But these people don't put themselves even in the same vicinity, in the same room with the people that they feel like they're on the same playing field with, because you know then they're gonna find out they're really not on the same playing field. They're gonna get washed. So that's why I say people are stagnant, because a lot of people didn't want to grow, and a lot of people didn't want to get uncomfortable. So you can't, in my opinion, you can't trust people who can't tell you what it's like to be uncomfortable. And people have been hiding behind, a bunch of stuff to make themselves look better than they are. So, which goes to the racial class part, and which goes to the political part. See what happens when somebody says, "Okay, man, look, I need an answer for this. Do you have an answer? Like, this is where I'm at, and this is where I'm trying to go. Do you have an answer that can get me from here to there?" And if they don't have an answer, the motherfuckers ain't really red pill. Because all they're gonna tell you is something to make you point the finger and say it's somebody else's fault. When people say uh, they'll go, people who go, black people, you shouldn't have a victim mentality, right? I look at those people sideways. I'm not saying to be a victim, but what I'm saying is, what those people gonna turn into victims real quick. And what I mean basically is this. You know what? I'm gonna make an analogy. I'm gonna say I had some friends that and I that like hunt, right? They'll go out. They like hunt. They're we're in Texas, so they like to hunt. And they'd be like, man, it's exhilarating. And I'm like, bro, you taking a rifle out into a wilderness and shooting a fucking deer, and every now and some hogs maybe. I was like, don't act like you're really hunting. You know what I'm saying? See, that's the like those are the people who go, yeah, I'm alpha, and the deer has a victim mentality. The deer wasn't thinking about you. You packed your shit up in a truck, drove 3, 4, 5 hours away from your home to shoot a deer that wasn't thinking about you. And I said, but if you want to hunt for real, take your ass to Michigan. He was like, what? Take your ass to Michigan. Like, why would I go to Michigan? I said, well, go to Michigan. They got bears there. They got wolves there. They got wolverines there. See how good you is at hunting when something might hunt your ass too. And then it's like, what? See, that's the, when people say, you don't have a victim mentality, those people won't put themselves, they're not trying to put themselves in a position where they could be prey. You know, they want to challenge a newborn to a boxing match and act like the shit count. That's what you're dealing with. So when I look at the landscape of all of that stuff, it has these undertones and overtones of people, like I said, who want to feel more important. You know, those types of, yeah, they're not really bullies. They're not really bullies. You know, because like, okay, let me say it this way: bullies are childish, a child thing, a teenage thing. You don't see you don't see bullies with grown men. You know, you really don't see bullies with grown men because grown men don't want that kind of problem. The grown men that used to be bullies don't want that kind of problem with other men because they don't. You don't see them try to bully people in public. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. Like people who, from my experience, people once people get older, they go from being bullies to throwing rocks and hiding their hands and acting like they was tough. But if you see them throw the rock, then they bitch out. It's like, what the hell just happened? Oh yeah, he don't really want no problems. You know, uh, and boy, what I'm about to say is gonna be some jerk shit. I just thought about it before I said it. Here's the thing. One of the reasons I'm talking about this is because over the years I've watched and I've paid attention to how dumb this America as a whole has gotten over the years. And what I see time and time again is basically people who can't, who don't have a good concept of how things go, or who don't have good comprehension skills, and now they're making content, and they're basically marketing to other dumbass people, and now you have a, a consortium of idiots all going rah rah rah. And what winds up happening is you have people going down the rabbit hole of stupid shit because, truth be told, and I hate to say it this way, a lot of people are stupid, but a lot of people play stupid because they're too lazy to fix the problem because they know how to fix it. You get what I'm saying? They know I need to do this, this, and this. But if I play stupid, I can buy me another 2, 5, 10 years to never fix this problem, and then until I'm forced to do it. It's like, oh, okay, that's what we doing. All right. So this is what you see on the internet. You seeing people who get news stories off the internet, and the news story gave you all the information, and now you repost the shit and you fucked up the whole story. Now it became something completely different. You seen, like you said, a conspiracy theory. You seen the conspiracy theorists come up with shit, and the shit don't make sense because the conspiracy and the history don't align. Oh, this happened in 1985, and now because this happened in 1985, this happened in 2025, and even though none of this shit correlates or goes together, I just said the shit, and I just nodded my head like, can't you see? And it's like, you're a stupid motherfucker. But other people go, you can't dig the knowledge? No, I can't because it's dumb. You got people actually with all of this information at your fingertips to research shit and to double check shit and to make sure you got it right. Do you see how many people get shit wrong? Right. There's no detail. It don't even take a lot of effort no more. So now what you have is we got a bunch of people doing cliff notes. I didn't read the book, but I know the book because I read the cliff notes. But you ain't even read the fucking cliff notes right. You half-ass read the cliff notes. So you don't know you didn't read the book, you didn't read the cliff notes, now you spewing out shit, and when people go, hey man, that's not what that was, you hate. No, motherfucker, you just stupid. And you see it time and time again. You see it time and time again. We had these political conversations. I said it every time I had people have these political conversations, I'm like, you're fucking stupid. I can't believe, I could believe you stupid, this stupid, because I can hear it. And this means this, and this means that, and that means that. No, the fuck it don't. Now you having these race conversations, and this happened because this happened when that happened. That's not what the fuck happened. No, the fuck, that's not true. But it's got to be true because I just heard the shit from somebody who's stupid as a motherfucker too, and I believe them. It's like, okay, and that's why both of y'all are stupid. Well, how can you tell me I'm stupid? I have a suit on. You a stupid motherfucker with a suit on. Congratulations. The same thing goes, and I hate to say it, when I was talking about the class issue. Some of these people actually think they smart, but truth be told, you've been grifting and scamming, and the only reason you've been grifting and scamming is because you ain't black. That's how you got over. You wasn't smarter than nobody. Nobody was paying attention to what you was doing because, you're not looked at as a threat. And now you see why the country's fucked up because of that. Because it's a shitload of people who got in a shitload of positions, who got a shitload of money, and people scratching their head trying to figure out what the fuck, how the fuck did we let this stupid motherfucker get all this money? How did we let this shit happen? Because the same thing, when I talked about that before, the same thing that people did with 9/11 when they let them dudes go into that air school, their flight school, and tell them they want to learn how to fly planes but not land it, and nothing happened to them, is the same thing that they've been doing in business for the last 50, 60 years. It's the same shit. People been saying they in business, and people been giving people millions of dollars in business and giving people millions of dollars in grants and all kinds of bullshit, and they have no good ideas, nothing good to offer. They just let people rob the bank and walk off and say, I'm a genius. It's like, no, no. You're just a stupid motherfucker with a government contract that turns around and says some shit like, oh, I don't want the government in my business. Bitch, you wouldn't be rich if it wasn't for the government. A lot of you motherfuckers didn't get rich off of a business idea. Y'all got rich off of a government subsidy, a government program, government subsidizing your business. You scamming and the government dropping the investigation because they got other shit. You know, Sam Bankman-Fried. Sam Bankman-Fried, hey man, if you that young with that big of a business and nobody bats an eye, I wonder why. He ain't that. Sam Bankman-Fried wasn't nothing new. He was just another one. Yeah. Right. But nobody asks these people where these venture capitalists get all this damn money from. Nobody asks them. Where you getting this money from? You know. Same thing with Elon Musk, the richest man in the world. Where he got that money from? Most of that shit is government subsidies to make his company big, and the stock blew up. That's what that is. Government subsidies. Now the PayPal thing, that's him. That's him. After that, all government subsidies. You know. Matter of fact, I had to be petty, but people like Marvel and all that other stuff. How y'all think Tony Stark got Stark Industries getting paid by the government? What we doing? Working for the government. Yeah. So it's like, man. So that this becomes the backdrop for, how can I say this, the content that's being created, because you don't actually have to be good, you don't actually have to be smart, you just have to ride a wave. That's it. You can be, you can't be mediocre and be black, but you can be mediocre and be non-black. That's for sure. Yeah, I know about the Elon father on a diamond mine. You know, they, here's the irony: who he bought it? He didn't buy that mine, right? He's a Boer, right? Is it a Boer? Or he's from D or whatever. They didn't buy that shit. They didn't do business for that mine. They used the government and from Europe to be an enforcement arm to steal a shit in Africa. It wasn't a business deal. It wasn't a business. Because I saw his father in his dumbass interview. If the world, if white people aren't the majority, then the world will go back to the jungle. Africa wouldn't be fucked. Africa wouldn't be fucked up if it wasn't for all of Europe. It seemed like everybody was doing. The Middle East was doing just fine. Asia was doing just fine. America, all the Americans was doing just fine. I hate to break news to you, Europe and Europeans fucked up the world. They just fucked up everybody else's world and stole from it. That's it. If I rob your house and burn it down and take all your valuables and then put it in my house, that don't mean You know, man, you know, if if you come get your stuff back, the world is wrong. No, no, that would be I'm the one with the problem. Okay, for real, you know. Even if he could create more, like here's the thing, even with Elon, right? Even if Elon Musk could create more things, unfortunately, Americans can't afford to buy them. That's the biggest issue. Like he making cars, and America can't. Most Americans can't afford cars, and especially expensive ones. So not, it is what it is. What we gonna do? you know. And I hate to be an asshole, but you know, people should have known something was up when you can't even buy. I hate to say that, but I gotta say it. People are buying cell phones on payment plans. If you gotta buy cell phones and payment plans. Most Americans are buying got smartphones on payment plans. So what you think a car gonna do? These companies, you know, and this is why I say people are stupid. I'm gonna go ahead and say it like this, Doc. So basically, all these companies doing is you fire more and more people, so you got less Americans working, and with less Americans working, the Americans that are working, you charge them for all the people that you laid off. You know what I'm saying? So basically, if your product was, let's just say $100, you'd lay it off a gang of people, and so now your product is 250, and you're like, yo, even though it's less people buying it, we making record profits, and they dumbass don't realize, hey man, that's only 250. Yeah. You made record profits this year, but they ain't buying that shit for the next 4 or 5 years. So you better live off them record profits, because that's all you're gonna get. And then what they gonna do? They're gonna fire some more people, and then that 250 gonna be 350, and then nobody's gonna buy the 350, and they gonna go, man, but the stocks, and what's gonna happen? The stocks gonna crash. It, I'm bald headed, and the American economy basically looks like barbershop economy. And everybody who go to the barbershop know exactly what I'm talking about. The haircuts was reasonably priced. It was $10 to $20. The motherfucker started getting the 50 to 75 to 100 to 150 for, and it's like, for a fade, bitch, I'm gonna just grow my hair out. You might get a haircut, but I used to come once a week, once every 2 weeks. Now I might come once every 2 months, because you raised the price so much, you done lost your customers, and you still got to pay your fees. So now yeah, he called. My cuss is 125. Okay, you cuss 125, but how many times you gonna cuss somebody? It got so bad that y'all was overcharging celebrities, and they was like, "Fuck it, I don't need you." Nah, no, thank you, I don't need it. And that's the same way the American economy is. People gonna walking away from more and more and more. Oh dang. Well, let me get out of here, man. I'm running my mouth for too long, man. Y'all have a good night, man. I'm gonna go get some sleep and hit the gym in the morning. You know. Yeah, yeah. You got it, Doc. But catch y'all later, man. Peace.
It looks like a job for Superman.
You do this,
Spoken from the lips of the young or the old, fear of me.
Yeah, gotta put it all in,
And they are Superman.
all the way. I guess I'm taking off the cape through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break, me I ain't coming back. I got one life to live, if you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me, plus when I'm drunk I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the kings of neon. This world is cold as ice, mixed with salt, mixed with freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Put before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you still follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leave a building in a single bound. But I can't stand fair weather friends, and I just fly around. My super friends is Justice League. Only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what? We had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. And life is not a joke, then again it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Saga of the kryptonite, life just ended. You enjoy listening? Man, I'll finish it. Lois, come holler at me. I got an ice couch. Thank you. Coming out, listen. I knew you would like it because we made it. I'm so frigid and so fly. Okay.